lots of different levels, all mat work, all no equipment, but you might want a little block for your head or a couple pillows or something, just so you can have it underneath your head without your head hanging down or having to use your arm to lift it up. But otherwise, just a mat or a towel on your floor and that'll be perfect. Okay? So we're going to start with our neutral. Spread your toes, find your hip width apart. Strong ankles, soft knees, strong neutral pelvis, long spine, open chest, relaxed shoulders, and a head back so it's in a straight line with all your body. We're going to take a few deep breaths in and out our ribs just to get that oxygen into our bloodstream. When you're breathing, you want to make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up and you're breathing out into your ribs. And then we're going to engage our transverse abdominals, our deeper abdominal muscles. You do that by hardening your tummy, like you're going to be hit, and you're going to engage those tummy muscles to brace for that impact. So take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to engage, harden that tummy. Keep the engagement as you keep that breath flowing in and out. Keep that breath flowing. You may feel it pull into your back, that's fine. Transverse abdominals, they wrap right round into our backs. And then relax off. When you relax off, you should feel your whole belly go woof, like you've just eaten a big dinner. So again, nice deep breath in. Engage, keep that breath flowing in and out, keep that engagement. This, if ever I say throughout the class, engage your TAs or engage your transverse abdominals, this is what I mean. So you're not allowing that pressure to push out from your belly, but keeping it engaged. You may feel your pelvic floor lift a little bit, that's fine. They do like to work together fascionally. We do want to make sure they're not engaged the whole time though, otherwise by the end of the class they're going to be exhausted and not work. We only want them working when we need them to be working. So relax up, let that stomach go. Take a nice deep breath in, and we'll do a few pelvic tilts as we're just breathing freely. Pelvic tilts when we tuck our tailbone under and then push it back. So we get that nice full range of movement. The ribs are staying still, the legs are staying fairly still. And we're just tucking and pushing back. This is great for releasing any tension in our spine and also getting that synovial fluid flowing through our joints. Synovial fluid is like your natural lubricant of your joints. Finally, neutral, which is halfway between that tucked under and that pushback point. If you're not quite sure where that is, if you squeeze your bum muscles as tight as they can go, hold your pelvis still and release your glutes. That's normally roughly your neutral. Everybody's neutral is different, so you want to be there. From there, we're going to start warming up at our neck. So keep the head back, make sure it's not pulled forward. Bring it back to itself, and you're going to look side to side. As you're looking side to side, you want the rest of your body to stay nice and still. We don't want to be twisting, we don't want our shoulders lifting. So just nice and gently. Starting to encourage a bit of a stretch in your neck. And then we go ear to shoulder. Make sure it is ear to shoulder, not shoulder to ear, so keep these shoulders relaxed. Just let the weight of the head hang down as you feel a stretch down your opposite neck. And you're going up and over in your own time. We don't have to pull down this stretch, our heads are heavy enough. Just using the weight of the head will help stretch those muscles on the side of your neck. And centre, and we go chin tight to chest. We don't want to curve the neck right forward, we want to just tuck it in tight, chin to chest. Keep the shoulders relaxed, and then pull it all the way up to the ceiling. You want to aim to pull tall up to the nose, so not lifting the chin right up and back, just the nose up and then lengthen that spine as you're being pulled up. And down, nice and tight, keeping the spine long, and then back up to the ceiling. And back to the centre. We're going to roll our shoulders backwards, always backwards, so we live in the forward flexi chain, so everything we do is going forward rounding and go backwards, just to help open up this chest as we go. I'm going to start encouraging the elbows to move round too. a circle the whole way around. When they brush past your body, try and have your thumbs forward as they come past, so not the backs of your hands forward. We don't want to encourage forward rounded shoulders. We do nice, big, swooping openings. Any clicks or clumps we don't worry about too much unless they're painful. If they're painful, then stop or make the range of movement smaller. But our bodies have such a big range of movement, especially our shoulders, that there's going to be a little bit of a click or a muscle pinging over a bone somewhere. So if it's not painful, don't panic. But it is really important to keep this full range of movement. In our daily lives, we rarely stretch our arms right above our heads, or we just kind of here, we go right up and round. And then we're going to bring them down by our sides. Again, try to keep your palms facing in, thumbs forward so you're not rounding your shoulders. Keep the knees soft and the feet planted on the floor. We're going to do our lateral leans, side to side. Again, you don't need to yank yourself down. You can just let the weight of the body lie to one side. Try keeping a nice straight line so you're not tipping forward as you go. Try and keep the opposite shoulder relaxed so it's not creeping up to your ears. And I'm going to start bringing this opposite arm up and over just to give us a bit of a deeper stretch through this side. And back up. So that's our lateral lean. We'll do some rotation now. We're going to bring our hands into Cossack, one hand to the other. Keep your shoulders down, and the key is to keep the hips and knees forward. We don't want to encourage rotation of the knees. So shoulders down. You're going to exhale as you twist. Keep your hips forward. Inhale to centre. Exhale to twist the other way. You can pull your elbows across the body, but keep those hips forward. As you come centre, swap, drop, and start again. Exhale to twist. Inhale to centre. Exhale to twist the other way. Swap, drop those shoulders. Inhale, centre. Really focus on those hips and knees that they're staying forward. Keep going with that nice bit of thoracic rotation. Thoracic is our central spine. By keeping the hips forward, we're inhibiting our lumbar spine, our lower back, from being able to rotate quite so much, because we do really want to encourage the thoracic. By looking over our shoulder, that's our cervical spine, that's rotating. And back to the centre and down. Okay, we're going to warm up our feet a little bit before we work our legs too much. We'll just do a few tiptoes, using that control all the way up. So you can get right up onto the balls of the feet and down. Using your control up and down. Focus on the balls of the feet. Allow the weight to go into your big toe. If you're really struggling, you can always hold onto the wall for the next few balance moves, but ideally you'll be able to do it without holding on for balance. Now that our feet are a bit more warmed up, we're going to do a bit more balance work. We're going to face sideways so you can see a bit better. I'll give you a few different levels, okay? Level 1 is the easiest. So level 1, we're just standing up tall, keeping our neutral, making sure our bum's not slipping back. We're going to bring our knee up. If you're struggling, just start lower. Bring our knee up and then we're going to tap it behind us, making sure we're not kind of moving too much as we go. We want the body still. Knee up, stretch it back. Knee up, stretch it back. Although I'm tapping the floor, I'm not using the floor for balance. I'm literally just tapping down. If you'd like to make this harder, we're going to tip forward a little bit, just for trying stability. Keep the supporting knee soft. And again, I'm going to bring my knee up, tap it back. Knee up, tap it back. To make it harder, arms straight, diagonal line from the back of the heel to the hands, knee up, tap it back, knee up, tap it back, and if you want to make it harder again, you can bring the elbow and knee in at the same time, and then tap it back. If you want to make it harder, you don't have to touch the floor. Bring the knees and elbows in, and then kicking them away. Keep going with that, whichever level. This is the hardest level. Make it easier, you can tap it to the floor. Easier again is keeping the arms straight. Easier again is just having the arms down. And easier again is just standing nice and upright and still. You're going to do about 20. You're always welcome to pause the video and do more if you want to. Once you know about 20 on one side, you're going to do the same on the opposite side. So again, I'll run you through levels. Level 1, nice and straight, tapping straight back. Level 2, tipping forward. Focus on this supporting leg. 3, arms straight. And 4 is bringing them all in and back. Again, with level 4, if you want to make it harder, you don't have to touch the floor in between. Keep that core nice and strong, keep your breath flowing. Again, we'll do about 20. Doesn't have to be too quick this, because you don't want to get off balance. Once you've done roughly your 20, you can come back up. Pulling the body nice and tall, opening the chest. Nice deep breath in, and we do a roll down. I'm going to show you sideways, long ways with your mat, so stand at the back of your mat. Nice deep breath in, inhale out the crown of the head. Exhale, drop your shoulders, drop your chin, roll your body down. Keep your knees soft and the weight even on your feet. As you take yourself down to your hanging position, really allow the weight of the head to hang down so you're not going to sluck like this. Then rolling back up, tucking the tailbone, stacking the vertebrae, opening your chest. Nice deep breath in at the crown of the head. Exhale, drop the shoulders, drop the chin, and roll forward again. Every time you exhale, let your body sink a bit further into that stretch, keeping these knees soft. Curling back up, unfurling that spine, opening the chest, breathing tall at the crown of the head, and then back down again. Really allowing each vertebrae to flex as you curl forward. From here, either you can bring yourself down to all fours, or if you'd like to make it a bit harder, you can walk forward, bringing yourself into a nice plank, holding nice and strong. Aiming to have a straight line from the back of the head to the back of the shoulders. And then bring yourself down onto all fours. When we're on all fours, we want to be in our box position. Wrists underneath shoulders and shoulder width apart. Knees underneath hips and hip width apart. If you're really struggling on your wrists, you can be on your knuckles, or you can use something like a block just to have your fingers over the edge if that feels easier from here. But ideally, just flat hands on the floor. Couple different levels of our bird dog, or Superman some people call it. Level 1 is just tapping forwards and backwards, alternating each time. The key for this is really using your core, so not shifting, not letting your pelvis shift side to side as you go. The body should be completely still as you do this. Head is looking straight down without the neck dropping down. Level 2 is going out straight. Using that control as you tap your hand and your knee down exactly at the same time. Making sure you're not shifting in between those movements. Doesn't have to be fast. It's better to do slow with control rather than fast without control. Level 3, if you want to make it harder again using that control, is you're going to take arm and leg out and you're going to pulse up, down, bring it back in. Again, out, up, down, bring it back in. Key level 3 is when you go up, make sure the movement is not coming from your back, it is coming from that leg. Where we just stretched out our hip flexors in the previous warm-up, we're going to use that range of movement. Where we're kicking that leg back. I'll show you again. Level 1, level 2, Okay? You're going to keep doing those. See again, if you can do at least 20, you're welcome to pause the video and do more. And once you do about 20 of those, you're going to get the knees fairly wide and the feet as well. And stretch back into child's pose. Bum to heels, arms forward, head down. Take a few breaths there. If you find child's pose uncomfortable, particularly on your knees, you can be in cat pose, which is when you create that N shape out of your spine. Pull up into the lower back and let the weight of the head hang down. So either here or down here. Once you've taken a few breaths there, nice few stretches, you're going to come forward onto your belly. Lying down. When we're lying down, we want to keep our legs fairly wide. If they're too close together, we can create tension in our backs and pelvis, which we don't want. So legs fairly wide, about mat width is a good width. We're going to rest our forehead on our hands, elbows open, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let the body melt into the mat, and then you inhale and lift the upper body. The key for this is keeping the head looking straight down. No point really lifting up like this. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay, keep going with that. If you're particularly tight on your shoulders and you think, I just can't get any lift here, try bring the arms down by your side and just lifting up enough to get the head off the floor and then down. But again, the key is that the movement is coming from the back and lifting up the ribs rather than the neck just lifting up and down. We don't want any movement in that neck. So inhale up, exhale down, keeping the feet planted on the floor. They don't need to be working too. Again, aim to do about 20 in total. And resting down. Let the body melt into the floor. And then we'll do just the legs. We're going to let the upper body stay down on our mats and be lifting just our legs. This time we're going to do the opposite. We're going to exhale our legs up, inhale the legs down. As you exhale the legs up, try to keep the knees straight so it's not the knees bending up or you're not using one than the other. We are trying to get both at the same time. You should feel this pelvis, your ASIS, these bony bits pushing into the floor as you lift. But also you shouldn't feel your back working too much. Lower back is working, so we expect it to work, but it should be taking over. Make sure those glutes are engaging. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. If you're really struggling to get any lift off the floor, you can do this one at a time, but again, the key is to keep this pelvis down. You don't want to be pushing into the other leg to kind of lift you up at all. The other leg should stay completely relaxed. Again, you want to do about 20. Upper body should stay nice and relaxed. Once you've done 20, you can just let the body melt into the floor for a few deep breaths. From here, we're going to bring ourselves up into gentle extension onto your elbows, pulling the body nice and tall. Either you can just remain here for a few breaths. If you want to intensify the stretch, you can push more up into your hands, keep your shoulders relaxed. Shouldn't be uncomfortable or painful, it should just feel like a stretch. And then slowly sliding forward, stretching those arms away from you, resting your head down. We're going to push our hands back in line with our chest. We're going to push up and then back into puppy pose. So from here, our bum goes up and our chest sinks down and our head goes down. Nice stretch through the shoulders, through this chest, through the ribs. And then we can slide back into child's pose. Again, if you find child's pose uncomfortable, go back up into cat pose. back flat, try not to let it dip or arch, and try not to let it shift side to side for this next move. So box position. From here, without shifting, you're going to take one leg out straight. Couple different levels. Level 1 is just tap the leg straight and up to hip height. So it doesn't have to go very high. Keep the core gently engaged so you're not moving around. If you want to make it harder, you're going to lift it up as high as you can without the back of the pelvis moving. We don't want it arching and moving around. We want to stay nice and still. You're looking straight down to keep the neck in a straight line. Again, we're going to do about 20. So either just going to hip height and back down, or if you can, go up even higher without the pelvis moving around. Once you've done 20 on one side, realign, make sure you don't shift as you slide the leg out, and again tap to either hip height and down, or all the way up and down without that pelvis and back moving. Nice and controlled. We don't want to rush this. If you're not quite there yet, feel free to pause. Resting back down into child's pose, just to give the body a break, just to get your breath back. From here, we'll come up onto all fours in our box position. I'm going to give you two different levels for this. If you're struggling on your wrists and you feel like your wrists are too tight, you can be on the elbows, but ideally we do want to be on our wrists. Again, you can be on your knuckles if needs be. From here, we're going to tuck our toes underneath, taking a nice deep breath in, and you're going to lift your knees. I'm not lifting them high, I'm just going to ankle height. So I don't want them being up too high, don't want them being down too low, roughly ankle height. Have a quick look down at your feet. Just make sure that the knees aren't collapsing in or the ankles aren't twisting anyway. Everything is nice 90 degrees. Once you're happy with that, looking down without the head dropping, pushing up strong. And you're aiming to hold 5 to 10 seconds. You're welcome to hold for longer before coming back down, relaxing, taking a breath in, and then resetting again. If you'd like to make this harder again, from here, from holding up, without trying to move too much, you can tap opposite hand to opposite shoulder, trying to keep the body still without shifting side to side. And you can do that for your 20 seconds or 20 reps, however long you want to do it for. Once you've done that for a bit, you will feel pretty much every muscle working. This is a variation of our plank, so pretty much every muscle. If you're feeling it too much on your hands, bring your bum back a bit. If you're feeling it too much on your knees, bring it over your wrists a bit. Ideally, we want to be all nice 90 degrees. Ideally, you want to be doing at least kind of 5 reps of 10 seconds. If not 10, 10 seconds is perfect. We're going to come onto our sides now. Ideally, you have your block or a pillow or something you can rest your head on so your head's not falling down. I've just got a block. And we're going to lie on our sides. So, lie on my side. I'm lying on my shoulder, my arms forward. I'm going to put my top hand on top of my bottom hand directly. Then I know my shoulders are stacked. If my hand's further back or too far forward, I know they're not stacked. From here I can always move this arm if I want to, if I don't want to have it in front of me. I'm going to straighten both my legs in line with my head. So I'm balancing my trochanter, this bony bit of my leg. From here, I'm going to lift and lower this top leg. The lower you go, obviously the easier it is. The higher you go, the harder it is. The key for this though, is to make sure when you're lifting, it's literally like you're being puppeted up and down. You don't want this leg rotating up. This foot and knee should always be facing forward and it should stay in line with the head as you lift and lower. If you're struggling to balance, you can always bend the bottom leg. That will help with stability to make things easier. Again, we're aiming to do 20. You're more than welcome to do more. Straight up, straight down. Can you keep the upper body relaxed? And just using the legs. A lot of glutes, abductors, and this is great for strengthening those knees as well, particularly our lateral knee, our outer knee. So up and down for 20. Once you've done your 20, you can just rest down. Bend these legs and find a more comfortable position. Make sure everything's still stacked, your hips and your shoulders, you're not rolling or leaning back. And then we'll take our legs straight again, balancing on that hip. If ever you need, put a little pillow underneath if it feels uncomfortable. You're going to lift your top leg, and that's just where it's going to stay. Sorry if it's a bit achy from earlier. We're going to use our bottom leg now to lift and lower. Lift and lower. If this top leg is just saying, I am too tired, you can just rest your foot on the floor or the knee on the floor. Ideally, if you've got a little block or something you can put your knee on, that's even better, just to keep that knee at hip height. But if you don't, then just have it down or up here. You can always lift it up this way. And we're just going to lift and lower that bottom leg. So either keeping the leg rested down or holding it straight, lifting and lowering this bottom leg for another further 20 lifts if you can. This is great for strengthening our adductors, the muscles on the inner side of our leg, up into our medial knee, so our central knee. Again, trying to keep the body still, either the top leg straight or the top leg on the floor. You can always change halfway through, just make sure we do the same when we get to the opposite side. Keep the upper body relaxed and everything nice and set. And once you've done 20, you can rest down and just bring your legs to a comfortable position. From here, keeping the knees bent, we're going to slide the top hand over past the bottom hand and open up all the way back behind you, looking over your shoulder, keeping the knees down on the floor and opening in that chest. Take a nice deep breath in and out before you close and reopen again. Making sure you're looking over your shoulder, because the cervical spine likes to take the lead of the thoracic spine, so we find it easier if our neck is looking over for that central spine to rotate. You want to do that about 4 times. We're going to do a couple side press-ups now. We're aiming to do at least 5, but you're welcome to do more. Your bottom arm on the floor is going to come across onto your ribs or your chest, just anywhere where it's out the way. This top hand is going to do the hard work. You're going to put it in front of you, about in line with your shoulder. You're going to lean gently into this hand, and as we press up, we want to try not use this bottom elbow and try not lean with our head. So if you come up and you're upright, you know your head has led. As you go down, your shoulder and your head should touch on your block and your floor about the same time. Again, if you touch down and your head is nowhere near your block, you're lifting the head. So pressing up and down without using this neck and head. We're using all the strength down this arm. So ideally doing 5 in total. Then we'll come up and over to mermaid. If you find mermaid uncomfortable on your knees, you can always straighten one of your legs out if needs be. lying down. Again, have the legs straight to begin with. If you're struggling to balance, bend the bottom leg. Lifting and lowering this top leg for 20. Keep the knee and the toes facing forward without them rotating upwards, and this pelvis should be still. Try to get that leg in line with your head. If you're looking forward and you can see your foot, then you know it's creeping forward. You shouldn't be able to see your legs and your peripherals. So 20 in total. Don't want to be rushing these, want to use that nice control all the way up and all the way down. Trying to keep this upper body relaxed, but everything stacked. And once you've done your 20, you can just bend your legs, give them a bit of a break, give that hip a rub if you need to. And then same as we did on the other side. Either you have your legs straight, you're lifting your top leg to about hip height, and then you're lifting your lower leg to meet, up and down. Or if it's too much on this hip, if this leg's exhausted from the previous move, you can be knee down or knee up. Ideally, if you've got a block at the same size, put your knee on, that's perfect. But if not, you can just lift it up and down like this. You want to focus on that bottom leg that's on the floor. That's the one doing the hard work. So either leg straight, or again, if you swapped halfway through on the last leg, do the same on this leg. Just to keep our body nice and symmetrical. Aim to do 20 lifts and lowers. Not only are we working our abductors in the medial knee, but also these obliques and transverse abdominals will be engaging too as you lift and lower. Using those core muscles. Once you've done your 20, you can rest down for a rub. Slide your top hand over past your bottom hand, open up all the way back behind you, keeping the knees on the floor, twisting in that thoracic spine and looking over your shoulder. And you're going to do that 5 times. Once you've opened up, take a nice deep breath in and out. Before closing and moving again. Once you've done it 4 or 5 times, it's ready for a 5 side press-ups. Bottom arm comes across, top hand goes in front. Lean the weight a little bit into this hand. If you're not, then you'll find it quite hard to press up. Make sure you don't lead with the head. Try not to use that bottom elbow as we push straight up and down for 5 in total. Using that control, trying to tap the head and the shoulder down at the same time and pressing up so you're not leading with that head. Once you've done your 5, coming up and over into man-in. Again, if you find it too much on the knees, you can go straighten one or both of the legs. And then coming up. We're going to come onto our backs now. So take any blocks out of the way just so you don't have them on your head. If ever you feel it uncomfortable on your neck, have a very thin pillow or something, or just a folded towel just underneath your head, but you don't really want it more than ½ inch. Ideally, you want to keep our back in a nice correct alignment. So lying down on your backs, you want to put the back of the head, the back of the shoulder blades, and the back of the sacrum, which is the back of your pelvis touching down. You can have a gentle curve on your lower back and your neck for this one. So we don't want our backs to be flat, we want those natural curves, but we want to work with those natural curves. Arms down by your side, with your palms facing up. Again, this will help prevent the forward rounded shoulders. tailbone under, push the lower back into the floor, we call this imprinting, and then arch it off so you create that hollow underneath your back. You're just rocking between those movements. This will help lengthen and align your spine, just to make sure you're not twisted or shifted. And once you've done a few of those, either you can stick in your neutral pelvis, making sure your back's not too arched and it's just kind of on the back of the sacrum, or you can imprint your spine if you want. By imprinting our spine, we push our lower back down. This helps get our abdominal muscles working harder and inhibits our lumbar spine and lower back from taking over. Most people, especially if you're beginner, will find this ideal, so I would recommend to imprint, but if you're struggling, a neutral is also fine. For these next couple moves, we want to keep these transverse abdominals engaged. So what I mean by that is making sure when we're doing the move that you don't feel this pressure pushing out your belly like you can't control it. You want to be able to engage it. I always say like someone's about to drop a bowling ball on you and you're bracing yourself, you can control those abdominal muscles. Level 1, nice and easy. Legs and A-frame, chest open, ideally imprinted spine. Then you lift one leg, tabletop, and then tap it down. You're going to do 5 on one side, 5 on the other, and then another 2 5s, so 20 in total. Using that control, you're not doing it too quick, you're using that control. Once you've done 5 on one side, you're going to do 5 on the other side. If this is too easy, you can do the same move but with a straight leg drop, so legs going straight down and then straight back to tabletop. When you're coming back to tabletop, this knee doesn't need to be creeping to your chest. You want to keep it at its 90 degrees as it goes down. Rest of the body should be nice and still. If you'd like to make it harder again, bring both legs into tabletop. Keep the lower back down, transverse abdominals engaged, and you're going to alternate toe tap, one, then the other. Because we've got both up, we can alternate, and you can just keep going with the alternation for as long as you want to. If again you want to make this harder, you can do a straight leg drop down and up, down and up. Keep the body still, try and keep that lower back imprinted, keep these transverse abdominals engaged and chest open. You shouldn't feel like the upper body's having to work too hard, or you shouldn't feel like your head's lifting up off the floor. If you do, then you might have to go down to the slightly easier level just until you build those muscles and build that connection with your body. Ideally, if you're doing level 2, 3 or 4, you want to keep going until you can't anymore, or you can do about 20 reps in total again. Once you've done your 20 reps, feel free to pause the video and carry on if you haven't quite got there. You're just going to hug the knees in and have a gentle rock, side to side. If you've got any osteoporosis or osteoarthritis, then just hug the knees in still. Don't do the rocking movement, you might create small fractures in your spine, which we don't want. And then you bring your legs down into A-frame, just bend on the floor. From here, lengthening your spine, taking the arms both up to the ceiling, your palms are facing in and your arms are shoulder width apart. We're going to nice and slow, using our control at the same time, take both arms above our head to the floor behind us. The key to this is really trying to tap them down at exactly the same time before we slowly lift them. And then we bring them down by our hips, again tapping them down at exactly the same time. Little fingers should be tapping down as we go down. The key to this one is making sure we're not launching our hands up. From the floor, lifting, whether it's above or below you, you want that movement to be nice and slow. Really focusing on keeping a nice smooth movement. You don't want any juddery bits where you feel like you're missing sections. You want to be able to control the whole way down, the whole way up. Tapping down and up at exactly the same time. Keeping those palms facing in. If you're doing this class again, you can always add weights into this, or a few water bottles, or whatever you have to hand. Just make sure it's the same on both sides, and that your palms are always facing in, you're not going forward. Again, we're going to do about 20 lifts and lowers, so full lift to your hips, to your head is 1. The slower you go, the more you work those fine control muscles. Like I said earlier in the video, we very rarely use this range of movement above our heads, all the way up. If you can't touch the floor with your shoulder blades and head staying down, then you know you need to work on that range of movement. You might have too much tightness in those shoulders. If you are nowhere near, then just keep practicing, just keep at it. Let your body relax into that stretch. Don't force them down, just relax into that stretch. Once you've done your 20, we're going to bring the arms back down. We're going to lift both legs into tabletop, so 90 degrees. Mimic with our arms, this is our dead bug position, we look a bit like a dead bug. Everything is at nice 90-degree angles, which is where we want to get. Our arms aren't collapsing, our knees, so we're not going right up, we are just nice and 90 degrees. Keeping the head and shoulders down, lower back down. A few different options. Option 1 is just taking the arms and legs away. The further you take them away from each other, the harder it is. So if you want to keep it easy, just do a small range of movement. We don't need the knees and arms coming right together. We want to keep them at 90 degrees or take them away a bit more. If you want to work harder, then go a bit further away. Focus on keeping these abdominals nice and strong. And if you want to work even harder, you can go all the way down to the floor, all the way back up to that 90 degrees. Using that control, keeping your breath flowing. Lower back should be able to stay imprinted, and you're keeping these transverse abdominals engaged so the pressure isn't pushed out and you don't feel like you're doning. If that's too much, then just make the movement not quite as low down, or you can just keep it quite small to begin with. So whatever feels good for you. Again, we're aiming to do about 20. Make sure you keep that breath flowing. I like to exhale for exertion, so exhale as an out, inhale as an back in. Once you've done your 20, you can hug your knees in again. Take a nice breath. Let the body relax. And do a few toe points and flexes, just to release any tension from our ankles. This is also great for giving those legs that fascial shear, that gliding off the fascia. We're going to hug one knee in, straighten the other leg flat to the floor, making sure the back's not arching too much again. We're going to pull this knee in to give us a bit of a stretch. Keep your shoulders down, and then gently swap in your own time. And again, so we're going to do 2 stretches on each side. And again. So once you've done 2 and 2, we're now going to speed this move up. So this is going to be our next working move. We don't need to be gripping onto the leg with it. Just a gentle squeeze will help with this one, okay? Just use a couple fingertips. We're going to be lifting and lowering the legs in and out, but nice and quick. Try not to let the bottom leg plop to the floor, because that's not controlling. The lower down it goes, the harder it is. The higher up it goes, the easier it is. If you want to make it easier, you're going to come here. You make it harder, you go down a bit lower, 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 to wherever you want, as long as it's not plopping to the floor. So just fairly quickly, using that control. If you want to make it harder again, you can always do a chest lift. When we do a chest lift, our chin isn't tucking in, we're not yanking our head forward. We're literally just lifting this chest, our neck is in a straight line, and it happens to be lifting too as we go. Always focus on that apple gap between your chin and your chest. If it's too close, you know you're rounding your neck. If that feels too much for you, then you can just rest your head down. If you want to work harder again, you can really speed it up. Make sure this leg is going straight though, it's not just staying kind of bent here. You do want to straighten right out as you go. And you're going to keep going for about 20 reps. If you want to pause the video and carry on for longer, feel free. Once you've done your 20, again you can just hug your knees in, drop your shoulders. We're then going to straighten our legs to the ceiling, flex our feet, chest can be open, and just let that blood flow, circulate up and down those legs as you're pushing up nice and tall. And bring them down to A-frame. We'll do a couple of stretches now before we finish. So a couple of pelvic tilts, just to help realign the body. Arms are open. We're going to press the back of our sacrum to the back of our flat part of our pelvis down. We're going to thread one leg through the other, the foot goes to the floor, and this knee drops open. Try to keep that pelvis still so it's not twisting over. This leg is just still, this leg is threaded through, and this leg is relaxing. Really allow your body to relax into that stretch. Relax your glutes, relax your legs, and you should feel a nice stretch down here in your hip flexor muscles. Breathe into that stretch. Before realigning and doing the same on the other side. Thread the leg through, foot goes to the floor, and that knee drops open. Relaxing that threaded leg, that's the important thing. If you're holding tension in a stretch, you're not going to get the benefits out of the stretch, so make sure you relax. Bringing your legs back up. We're going to do our figure of four, so you're going to imprint your lower back. Take one leg across the other and let that knee drop open. Either the foot that remains on the floor can come back into tiptoes as you push your knee away, or if that's not enough stretch for you, if you feel like, yeah, I can do that without feeling any stretch, you can hold on to the leg that was on the floor, so hold on to the back of the leg. Again, allowing this knee to stay open, you don't want it creeping up to your chest. Keep the head down, shoulders down, and again, just breathing and relaxing. Really allowing this crossed over leg to completely release. Want to be holding each of these stretches for about 20 seconds. Rest down, realign, and do the same on the opposite side. Take the leg across, drop the knee away, either push this knee away or holding onto the back of the leg. Should feel a nice stretch through your glute muscles on the crossover leg side. And rest down. Open the chest, palms facing up, arms out wide. We're going to bring both feet and both knees together. We're going to allow both knees to drop down to one side as your head looks to the other side. Try sitting with the knees to the floor and keep the arms open. And you can just go up and over in your own time. Knees go one way, head looks the other way. If you'd like to make this stretch a bit deeper, a bit harder, the closer the knees are to the chest, this way, the harder it is, or the more stretch you get in our thoracic spine. You can always come up and over like this, just make sure you can control and you're not pulling too much on that back as you're coming up. Coming back to centre. Couple pelvic tilts again to realign up for our twisting. We're going to bring ourselves up into a sitting position. Either you can just bring yourself up comfortably, or if you've got no osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, or any disc or back problems, you can do rolling like a ball. The key for rolling like a ball is keeping the same distance between your knees and your chest. If it widens or comes too close at any point, it will not help with the rolling. So get the momentum, lift this chest, we're starting to curve the spine. You can pull the legs down and then rock up and down. Can you see how the distance between my knees and my chest is about the same distance as I'm rolling. This is quite a nice massage for the spine. And then bring yourself up to sitting with control. Sitting up nice and tall, facing forward. We're going to put our feet together and let our knees drop open. If you find this particularly uncomfortable, you can just have your legs hip apart and forward. From here, have our chest open, shoulders down, nice and relaxed. Make sure the head's not pulling forward. It should be lovely in alignment now. And you look side to side, just to help release any tension from our necks. Our necks do like to take over, especially when we're trying out new moves. And then do ear to shoulder again, let these shoulders just relax down. You don't have to pull anything down. And then chin tap the chest. And up to the ceiling. Make sure that spine is still long, you're not going to slouch down. Chin to chest. And up. And centre. Nice deep breath in at the crown of the head as you lengthen your spine. As you exhale, let your shoulders relax. And there we go, we're all done for today. I've got lots of other videos if ever you want to look at them or message me if there's anything in particular you'd like to do at home. Hope you've enjoyed this class. Feel free to watch it over and add in weights and things as you need. Bye!